Hi guys. So as you can see, our notes for today, the purpose is to interpret evidence of change and identify signs of ecological succession in ecosystems. So the big question that we're looking at is, how do ecosystems change over time? And I'm going to start with a definition of ecological succession. So ecological succession is the changes that take place over time in an area. There are two types. Primary and secondary succession. Okay, so as you can see, my arrow kind of messed up. We're going to start way down at the bottom of this page. I'm hoping I left myself enough room with a definition for primary succession. So primary succession occurs where there is no soil, so after a glacier retreats, or after a volcanic, volcanic eruption. So there's no soil, there's just bare rock there. After this, then we work our way up to the next stage, which is pioneer species come in. So they're the first organisms to survive in an area. They change the ecosystem by creating soil, and they provide food for insects. Oops. Man, those S's were hard for some reason. Insects and other organisms. So some examples of these pioneer species are lichens, cover bare rock and break it down to create soil. This can take hundreds of years. So we're not looking at a quick change here. Okay. The next thing after lichens, we would look at mosses begin growing. So they're like fluffier, right? Lichens are like the flat ones that cover rock, like the flat ones that kind of stick to the rock and are sometimes green or orange or gray. And mosses are like the fluffier, kind of short still, but like fluffier, nice, soft feeling plants. Well, they're not, yeah, mosses. Mosses begin growing. Insects and other microorganisms arrive. So those are all of our pioneer species. Next up, we have intermediate species. So grasses, wildflowers, and shrubs grow, more variety in organisms. Okay, and above that, so this is all happening over time, right? This is at the beginning, down here, lichens cover, next mosses, next grasses. Now we get, man, sorry that arrow is so unacceptable. I also have no whiteout. So sun tolerant trees begin growing. Plants that can't tolerate shade die. So this is just saying that like any of these things down here that needed a lot of sunlight to grow, they're going to slowly die off at this stage. Mosses and lichens will continue for quite a while. Both of these are considered, I'm going to turn sideways here, intermediate species. So pioneer and then intermediate species. Sorry guys, apparently I need to drink some water. Oh, and examples for us here are poplar and pine trees. Sorry, I should have left a little bit more room there. Okay, so above that, we finally get to our coniferous trees. In our case, pine trees are considered sun tolerant. So they are, yes, a coniferous tree, but they're not going to be in this level. They're going to be an intermediate species for us. Coniferous trees grow. Mature community develops. And so for us, this is going to be spruce trees mostly. Alberta changes a lot, actually. So our climax species, which is what this is going to be called, kind of switches between the top of these sun-tolerant trees and then the coniferous trees. So our climax community still changes a lot. This is climax community. We'll make a box there. Could have done that differently. Sorry, guys. One of the things that you're going to notice is more variety in organisms. So we start off with just lichen, then mosses, grasses and wildflowers and shrubs. We get more and more different kinds of organisms. And if you'll remember, when we're talking about more and more different kinds of organisms, what that means is biodiversity. So biodiversity increases as we move up our succession. So this was all primary succession. So this is coming from where there's no soil. Secondary succession, however, occurs when bare soil is exposed. So our big one here, naturally occurring for Alberta, is a forest fire. It can also be like after people disrupt a site or whatever, but Alberta naturally has quite a few forest fires that go through it, and so that's our big example. It is faster than primary succession. The existing plants begin growing again. Sorry, that's kind of squished in there. But that is our notes and explanation for Succession. I hope that made sense to you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.